You think we could have saved it and just relaminated it? So I'm pretty confident that repair is what actually caused all this problem. You can kind of see where all that laminate or the blue one gave loose. Just on the side. It's all rotten. So a lot of rot right there. Almost like where the water was pooling.
And there. And there. And then over there.
Now, once you get this radius off, you can kind of see what's going on the roof. This is the sidewall, this is the roof. They mate together right here. If we look down here, you can kind of see where they interlocked with each other. That's Winnebago's claims the same as their interlocking frame structure. And of course these screws right here that are pulling out are keeping that interlocking locked. And this one was missing. I put one in right there. See, that one's missing too. It's not interlocking anymore, so I have a whole bunch of these screws I have to replace with bigger screws. You can see this other one inside there is backed out too, so like this entire roof is falling apart. I'm not sure what's the story here. And then usually these screws will have Loctite already built into them, so I think this might have been before Winnebago put Loctite on them, and that's probably why they put Loctite on them. Always something to do. I don't know if you can see how many are loose. Now, although I hadn't planned on it, I do always inspect these roofs. And I think we already saw all the screws are coming loose on this thing, so there's no reason to rebuild a roof. It's going to fall apart again. So these are all stripped out. I'm going to go ahead and replace those with these 3/8 self-tappers. They will actually grab onto a lot. A little bit stronger. And so that'll keep that interlocking roof, and you can kind of see inside there. Interlocking roof to sidewall, a little bit stronger. So I have all of these to change out, and then all the side screws to change out. I had not planned on doing that at all, to say the least. But you can see how tight that is, and if we look down the rail, it's got a big gap the entire length. And of course, it's always time to clean out this J rail right here, so you can see it from the side profile. This is actually where the roof's going to tuck in. So we got to make sure that's as clean as we can get it, and it's easier to do right now when there's no roof on there. Once there's a roof on there, it hangs out over here, and it's hard to get your hand under it. So you might as well do that at the same time. Alright, well, that was tedious work. All those have been changed out now. We'll do the other side and we'll start rebuilding this roof. Alright, so we've done this a million videos. Okay, not a million, but a lot of videos. We're just going to peel this off one section at a time. Chad will get that going. Only one section, glue one section, peel one section, glue one section. I have to go cut those stacks out there so they're nice and flush. I got a special tool for that right here. The blade might do it. We'll see. Just good enough. And we'll save this piece for later because we'll just glue it back on. Well, that's cut. Chad got that started. Let's see how we do.
Section, does it come up with have to work it a little bit off.
You say you got to work it just a little bit?
No diggity.
What? I can't do it all.
Sure you can. Be like me.
Whew. That's not separating too bad. Who left paper towels up here? Probably some Yahoo. That's not too bad. So, all those screws all the way down. We're just going into 1/8" paneling and styrofoam. It's weird how there's water all around those screw holes. I mean, obviously you can screw down into there, but that's right at the radius, and that doesn't solve any problems because you crush the foam. All right.
All right.
You know,
Just some wood.
it's inside, right there.
Well, it's like I fit through that hole.
It could, in pieces.
I got some.
Well, we gotta do that about 6 more times.
Something like that.
It's all the exact same. So hopefully next time we do this, we'll have it all on there. Right, Chad? With editing, this is how it works. Did you know this, Chad? You just go like that.
What do you mean?
Well, just like that, it's done. What? Isn't that so much easier? We should install this tool a lot faster.
Yeah, I need one in my life.
All right, look at that, Chad. We got the deck down. All I have to do is cut off the excess right there. Chad's gonna do that while I mark off the other side, and then we can put the pylon down and feel safe about all this. All right, so here we got the material. Comes in a big tube. That's why everything's so expensive. Roll this out.
Charge you $100 for that tube too.
I know, not even shipping, just for the tube.
Just for the tube.
Yeah. All right. Next part's pretty simple. Just glue it, just like the paneling. We won't worry about that part before you see it next. It should just be glued down, unless something goes wrong. Chad, don't let anything go wrong.
No wrongs.
All right, so we got our center line marked. We already laid it all out. Center line on this pylon's marked, and I think we're ready to glue.
Trade secrets.
I already gave them away like 5
The
times.
trade secrets.
The secret text.
Secrets.
All right, guys, before I show you the roof laminated, I'll let you in on a little secret. This roof ceiling right here was so rotten that the whole roof was collapsing below the level it needed to be on the outside. So we had to add some back pressure with a jack down right here. So I'm a little concerned that either I'm going to have to, or I'm going to have the owner get some nice cherry hardwood and create a pillar right next to the slide out opening that goes all the way up there to transfer some weight to push up on that ceiling right there. We can go on the outside and take a look what I'm talking about. So right here you can see the roof deck. That's about the height it's supposed to be. You can kind of see right about there. It's a little bit under, but this area was well below this aluminum. So if we come over here, you should be able to see this foam. This foam was below that line right there. I might have been too aggressive at the front, so I'll get some clamps and clamp this back down again. Then once the front cap's back down, that'll secure everything the way it's supposed to. But we had pretty much lost the crown on this roof because of all the rot. Because you can see, this is the ceiling right there. There's not too much of that luan underneath right there. So these laminations depend on it being a sandwich to hold everything strong. That's why I only do 1 panel at a time. Otherwise it gets really weak really fast. But that's one of those things you run into that you didn't plan on running into. All right, so with those just clamped down, holding it back down, this is about the right height it's supposed to be. I just have to come through and add some supports for that member right there to actually screw into something. But this is pretty much a worst case scenario so far. But I have to make sure this roof is fairly stable where it's supposed to be. Because when I go to fold this down and tuck this into the radius right there, I don't want this to be either too short or too long. Because if it's too long, it'll bottom out and actually just force that up. But yeah, lots going on here. Alright, so here's a big reveal. The new deck we got laid on. No, not new deck, but the new fiberglass is laid on there. It's looking pretty good. The next step is just to cut this to length. Now that I have the roof stabilized up front. And we need to make sure that it tucks in correctly into that gutter. Right, focus, there. But before I can do the front cap, I need to focus. So that's what it's going to look like. I can get everything cut out and sealed up and get the rear cap installed right here in the ladder. But I can't do the front until I get that front decorative cabinet secured somehow, or get some structure in there. That's the last big item that I have to figure out. But first things first, cut this and tuck it. Alright, so this part is the tedious part. This is my line that I'm cutting off the excess. So you can see where I've cut it off. It should just kind of barely clear that lip of the rail, tuck in. But this is the most dangerous part of the entire job, because if this is too short, it's going to pop out. If it's too long, you'll have to cut it again, and then you go too far and you cut it too short. The worst case is you have to put a whole new roof on. The best case, if you cut it too short, you can take this awning rail off and move it up at least a 1/4 inch, or at least whatever the diameter of the holes are. But after that, you're SOL. And even on a fully painted RV, you can't really do that without having to paint, because underneath that radius or that rail is going to be white. Let's finish this up and get it tucked. Of course, with that slide out, it's screwing up my entire groove here, but we got it cut. So the next step is to tuck it in. So I'll do a test tuck. All it does is tuck in there, and you work this all the way down. And you have to be careful, otherwise you can put too much tension in it. This will rip, and it will rip very quickly. So you can kind of see that we're in the track right there. We'll just continue on all the way. Alright guys, I'll tell you, every time I do that, it scares me. But we got that radius installed. Let's take a look at it. I didn't point out that I did get the foam installed, so that foam acts as a back pressure. So that this is actually supported when it's bent over. But there it is. The only thing that I see that I'm not a big fan of is a little bit of a hump right there. But that's one of those bow supports, because this roof sagged quite a bit. And there's only so much that can be done. But it's I've seen this quite often on roofs that hadn't, like even on brand new ones. So let's do the other side and start doing good stuff. Alright, so that one fought me a lot more just because this roof is quite not very straight, which isn't too surprising at how loose the sidewalls and the roof were. But now is the fun part. We just get to cut some holes in this thing. When it comes to the rest of the roof, I find it to be very relaxing to cut holes, screw things down and seal it. It's kind of mindless work. I don't have to be troubleshooting. It's nice and relaxing. But this part, I don't know if you hear me breathing, it's nerve-wracking. Alright, what do we got here? 142? Let's see. Yeah, 140. Yeah. Of course, you know, we'll have to turn it off when we glue. You don't think so?
Maybe the last panel.
Ha!